Hey ladies and gentlemen, how are you? My name is attorney Charles Zavala from Zavala Texas Law, your immigration lawyer. We do news about immigration, about criminal defense, about business stuff. So if you like what we say, feel free to subscribe. We have all the social medias. We come out with content that based on questions you guys ask. So today I have one about immigration regarding something called asylum. You've probably been hearing it a lot. Probably have been hearing it a lot in the news. Asylum is whenever somebody is fleeing their country to come to the USA because they're fearing persecution based off of one of the 5 grounds that exist, and I'll make a video about those 5 grounds in the future. But right now, when you hear about what's happening on the southern border of the USA, these individuals who are crossing over are applying for asylum. So they're fearing a situation in their home country, right? So today's video is going to be about that process, but about a little part of it that's a lot of my clients are starting to run into, and it's called the credible fear interview. Okay, so I'll give you the rundown and then how this comes into it. So if somebody is fleeing from their country and they come into the USA, they can apply for what's called asylum, and they have to show that they are suffering persecution in their country based off one of those 5 grounds. But what's happening now is that there's so many people crossing over that there aren't enough detention centers, there aren't enough jails, detention centers, there aren't enough courthouses. So what's happening, it's creating a really big backlog. So a person does have the right to apply for asylum, but it's not an automatic right. So this is what happens. Whenever somebody applies for asylum, and if they allow them to come in the country, they will give them a court date, and they'll have to show up with the judge, and they will have to present and fight their asylum case. That's how it goes out. But because, and this is kind of my opinion, but because there's such a big backlog of what's going on right now, is they're implemented something called the credible fear interview. And this has existed for a while. It's not like something they just created now. But this credible fear interview is the step before asylum. And ultimately what it is it's an official from the US government is going to ask these people, hey, or individual, what is it that, like, why did you come, essentially? And then they have to tell them, hey, I fear this is what was happening. So that officer has the power to decide whether they show, I think it's, what's possibility, a sufficient, sorry, let me find out what the legal, significant possibility, that's what it is. They have to show that there is a significant possibility that this person will suffer persecution if they are sent back to their country based off those 5 grounds. So what's really the point of this credible fear interview? It weeds people out. Okay, that's the truth of what it does. So if you do not pass your credible fear interview for whatever reason, maybe the officer didn't think your claim rose to significant possibility of persecution, torture persecution, or maybe told him something like, oh, I'm not scared of going back to my country, or oh, I don't know, for multiple reasons. If they don't approve your credible fear interview, they're going to kind of try to deport you a little bit faster, remove you a little quicker. The person can request to go in front of an immigration judge and to essentially do it again. However, it's not often that the judge changes the officer's outcome or the conclusion, right? So it's very important, a credible fear interview, if you want to apply for asylum, when you go into there, you know what you have to say and you have your story right. Because if not, it's going to be very hard, and they're going to do what's expedited processing for removal. If they do approve your credible fear interview, fantastic. You made it past that point, and now most likely they will give you a court date with the judge so that you can go apply for asylum. So the point of this interview is a lot of people are coming right now at the border, and a lot of them are having to go through a credible fear interview, and a lot of them are being denied. So if you know somebody who wants to apply for asylum or applying for asylum, make sure they know about this credible fear interview so that they're ready, so that they can present their best interview when they're given this. If y'all have any questions, feel free to give me a call. My name is attorney Charles Zavala. Thank you and have a beautiful day. Bye.